Make sure the hole that will go to the sink or the shower is higher than the other two holes, so it doesn't run the system dry.
So this top section here is the diverter. Okay, this section here, those two things come together. This flap goes in the middle, and this locking arm helps it stay in place. And then when you pull this cable, it diverts the air from either to the heat exchanger or elsewhere. Yeah, that's one way of connecting it. The other way to connect it is to have the heat exchanger first, and then have this afterwards. And then either again it goes to the van or outside. But if you're going to be using it in the winter, it's preferable to have the heat exchanger first and then the diverter afterwards. This thing into one of these. So place the flap and holes, assemble the motor top, clip the two motors together, and together snap the locking arm into place. It's got ridges, so I guess it goes into those ridges. One would assume. You got to get that? Flap is pulled. Is that on? You need to tell me, is that on?
It's on.
So that flap is pulled by this cable here.
Yeah.
Pulled by that cable on the handle there. That moves this, which in turn moves that.
Oh, yeah, that's clever.
Yeah, so that diverts the heat. Okay, so we'll put it together. Don't need it, doesn't matter, does it?
No.
So then we're going to put this clip over the top to put it into place. And then what I'm going to do is just spin it around over the top. And then
Looks like a camera.
don't need to be too tight. Okay. There it goes. Okay, so we're then going to have to drill this in to the actual van somewhere with a remote cable. So I'm not going to do. That'll just be the end of the van. We'll sort of loop it around or something like that. We'll just pull the cable to start with, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not
We did a bit of farting about, but basically this is me trying to show you where we're going to use the drill to put holes into the water tank. So you can see we've got 1, 2 and 3. 1 and 2 can be the same height, but 3 needs to be slightly higher, as that kind of gauges when the water's about to run out and stops it from damaging the pump. Yeah, so we're going to drill this in, make some nice little holes, and then we need to file it down. And then once it's filed, it just makes it, the connectors slip in easier and screw in perfectly without any snaggy bits or loose wobbly ends.
And then we just do that from the inside. Don't cross thread them, there's anything.
I'm not even going to pretend to know the technical terms. I'm calling them pump connector bits, but you can see those connector bits are now in nicely and they just fit. And it's quite a straightforward process, really. Tim was the brains behind it. I do the camera, I try my best, but yeah, if there's bits that don't make sense, it's because I'm explaining it. Hopefully, in any of the subtitles, it will kind of clarify any wrongdoing.
So put this on. What we'll do is pop all these in first. The holes first.
Got to say, I'd be better off with pictures to support what we're doing. So then you could be like, oh, that's what this is. Or at the beginning, if it has one picture saying what each item is. So I actually did say something quite useful there. For anyone that's like me, that uses YouTube as your guide and likes to follow detailed instructions, I needed, or we needed, pictures explaining what each part is. I know some of you just know what the stuff is, but this looks like a black box, it looks like a grill, it looks like a speaker. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, if I had a picture explaining what it is, it'd make it a lot easier to follow, hence why we did the video.
So basically screw that on into there, aren't we?
And let's fast forward the next bit.
Okay, so that's that, and then we'll get this one on the front end.
That's right. Quite crazy. I'm not sure why it's a little kink in there. That's for some reason. That's good.
Where's my tea?
It's on the side by the plant that's probably gone cold.
Where? This way.
Okay, so this is the diagram which Bobil Vans give you explaining how to connect it all together. Hopefully that makes sense when you look at this now.
Okay, so I'm going to put that onto this one. Try that one. Now in theory, we'll be going into one of these, which will be second one. Yeah, second one there, so something like that. That's when you put in, I'm not going to do that now, we'll do that afterwards, when that's in place.
So now we're just tightening on the hose to make sure there's no leaks or anything like that. Nothing's coming loose. Oh, he can't help but get involved in it. Classic. And yep, hey presto, it should all now be coming together. There we go. Look at that.
These smaller ones are for the pump.
Did you guys know that Chewbacca comes in the form of a Vizsla? Nope, me neither.
For the circulation pump. Put it down there so it's ready to go. Yeah. And I'll watch you afterwards. So all we're going to do is I'm just basically trying to replicate this section here. Trying to replicate this going into water. So I'm getting the negative into and the positive in here, and I'm going to get a negative connected with a split out coming here. Use this set that I've got. Get positive into S2, which is on the right here. So I'll just get that out of the way. Positive into S2. Crikey, that's a tight squeeze for these. Put that one in. So that was my S2 connection. Getting that in, you want to make sure that gets all of the wires in. So that's that. I'll just turn that up. Okay, and that is around about. And that's this piece of wire coming out, this sort of branch here. So what we need to do is make sure the negative goes to negative on here. And then if the positive stays basically unbroken, understand? So we're going to connect the positive back up now. Because it doesn't have to do with it. We could heat shrink these as well, to be honest, because there's water here. So we're going to connect that one in. Oops. Connect that one in. Connect that one in there. Put it over the top, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, so that should, in theory, be pretty tight there. Then we'll connect the other red one in, as the other positive.
In the long term, you should probably solder these, but we just couldn't be bothered, didn't have time, and just thought we'll get cracking with it. But if you do have time, definitely solder.
Alright, so theory, those two are pretty tight now. Alright, so we should really.
One of these Wago connectors.
Wago.
Which are here, this is one of them.
What's it called? A Wago?
Yeah, good Wago. It should have been 3 or 4, I think.
Wago.
Yeah, 2 of them. So, what you do is you connect, it makes one circuit basically, so you connect one into here. Let's open all these up first. Connect one into here. Now I've got more space. So the red ones, the positives are going to stay together. So we can connect those back onto a, what's in a jig? Down. I'm going to clip that one into here. That's another. Down. Okay. And now what that gives us is that gives us this connection here with the negative potentially coming in from the side, like I say. And so our black is here, that's our red there, subject to this actually all fitting in the van. So what we're going to do now is we're going to disconnect this, strip that off. I'll strip that a little bit, I'll take a bit more off. Going to connect that into this section here. Okay, so that's that black done, and that now connects into there. So now this red one connects, as you can see, it connects actually to S1 and VCC. So that goes into 2. Don't want the wires coming out, you see. Wires splay out, affect other things. So that's in. So that's a positive out of this line here. What we do is use another Wago clip to get another positive out in.
Winnebago clip.
Or Wago, whatever they're called. Okay, so then we're going to get these coming in. Like that. Get that one coming in. Like that. And then we'll get this one coming in. That. So they're all pretty tight. So that's our positive done into this. I've not got a negative in yet. We've done this negative split here, haven't we? But we've not done a negative split here. So we're going to do a negative split here. Let's take that up there. And then all we're going to do is connect the green with another Wago clip, which I've got bang on enough. And that will be that. So we've got the negative here, which feeds off of this, up into that. There. Get that in there. And then we'll get this one in.
The third of the Holy Trinity.
Yeah. Still this final sort of connecting wire that allows them to speak to one another. So all I've got here is just a blue wire, so we know what that is. Now I don't know if that's going to fit, because that is quite a thick wire. I think we're going to struggle with wire, just to make it look a little bit different.
So the original wire we intended to use was too thick, so just to make things a little bit easier, we strapped or taped some different colour tape around that wire just to differentiate it and just to make it easier when following the instructions.
Coming in, connecting to there, and there's another bit going to be connecting in. They're very handy, yeah, you're right. They're very handy indeed. So that connects that connects that. Oops. And then connect back to this.
Okay, so here's the moment of truth, battery connected, and hey presto, thank God it worked.
How we got that?
Yeah.
I'm running down the side.
Oh, it does say on here something like if you have the pump higher
What?
than the water, then it sort of like self-cleans itself or something like that. Yeah, I don't know where I got that from. It's self-priming. Sorry guys.
So we'll get low down then. You can attach a rubber thing to it to keep it down in the water. But now she's being, the next one's got to reach. Next one's got to reach down there, isn't it? In theory, that would then come down here. So normally it's not very long. Actually, might be okay. Might be like that on the side. I think that'd be over there, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Or yeah.
On the side.
On the side inside, so it's out of the way. Round this side? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that should, in theory, slot into that there. Does not fit in. So let's draw that out. It needs 5mm.
Oh, 5.
We know that. So we get 5mm.
Okay. Yeah.
That wasn't very good, was it? Don't recall that. Get 5mm. Oh shit, it's on loose. Oh dear. Right, do that.
Get a part. Right, we're there now. God, that was the easy bit.
Oh dear. Right, I'm emotionally drained. Right.
Nazima. It's in.
That goes in like that.
Beautiful.
And then that is now your air sensor. For that.
Great.
Then what you do is you drill this down onto the floor, to the base, if you're happy with the position of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's about that, which is the water, right? Yep, which is the water. Just get this working.
Okay, so for the next part of the video, I've actually asked Tim to explain step by step what these little computer screens mean, because one's air and one's water, and I just figured he's the one to explain it, so listen up.
So you need to set this set point at 40 degrees, which we've already done, but to do that you hold set and you just change it up or down based on the setting you want. So that will kick in the second control of the water controller once that set point's reached with the diesel heater.
So once the diesel heater gets it warm enough to 40 degrees, that's when that kicks in, yeah?
Yes, when it reads that it's running at 40 degrees in the diesel heater,
Yeah.
that will then power up and kick that in. It's currently 8.4 degrees, hence why it's not going to kick on. So because we haven't got the diesel heater wired up, if we just manually force it along, and to do that we need to basically falsify the temperature. So you basically set this. Whoops. Yeah, so you basically need to drop this down just for demonstration purposes, and it kicks in when it's 2 degrees different to the actual temperature. So if we set this as 6.5 or 6.4 or less, that'll do.
That's kicked in.
That kicks that in. And now this is the water temperature controller, and to make sure that it actually does kick in properly, including the pump, because at the moment that's the temperature of the water, and that's the temperature that it's going to carry on running until it hits that point and turns off. So to ensure that this controls the pump properly, you need to set this to heating, not cooling, so the pump kicks in. So to do that, you need to hold down the set button until it shows an H, which would have been a C, but when it's a C, you then just press up or down when it's flashing. Press it up or down to C or H. You can see it's turned the pump off now. So if I change to H, it then kicks on the water pump. Yeah.
It's very clever, really.
So to do that again, just quickly, you hold the set button for a couple of seconds, then press set again.
So it flashes.
So it flashes like that, and then just change it up or down to get to the right one. But it should be on H. The water controller should be on H, so it actually heats the water and it kicks the pump in when it's at that set point. And currently it's saying it's going to heat it up until it's 70 degrees. But if I just falsify that, and let's just say I want it to heat the water up to 5 degrees, which I'll do now. Once it's got to that temperature, so like I say, do it 5 degrees, it just automatically switches the pump off, and now you can't hear it because it recognises it's hot enough, it's hotter than the actual set temperature.
Oh yeah, so it stops pumping.
Correct. So it ensures that it never gets hotter than,
Than what you set.
Yeah, basically.
That's good.
So if we just put that back up to 40, or 70 in fact, which was the set point previously. But actually for like a shower it should be around about 60, I think. So we'll do it 60. And that'll be that.
Cool.
And that's it. So again, to turn that one off then, I'm just going to basically change the set point of this. This is saying when it's over 2.3 degrees, you can switch on the water, but because that's just for demo. But for the actual real life with the diesel heater, you want to have that set at around about 40 degrees. And now it's switched off because we've put the temperature up. So now the water control will only kick on once the air temperature has got to 40 degrees. And that air temperature is based on a little thermometer controller just in the back of the
Oh yeah, I've got it.
And the actual water one is in the top of the tank.
The probe. Cracking. So is that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You don't want like the sauce, you want a pump going like, I've got a pump, but so that would be, but we've got water up to here so we make sure it works.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't dry it out. Yeah?
Well no, so we don't get water coming out the hole.
Oh yeah. As I've said previously, I don't have a bloody clue what's going on, so there's no point trying to hide it.
There's the pump at the back, at the very back. Yeah, and that's all connected to the bottom, like that. And you've got your way you go connectors, just like this diagram. So the pump's coming in, negative and positive lines coming in, positive's going all the way up to the controller, as per here. And the negative's coming into a way you go connector here, and then goes across into a couple of others.
Cracking.
Bought a coconut, bought it 4 times, sister had another one, she paid it, bought a line.